Moving away from oil, at this time, we've always been talking about the cleaner alternatives. And earlier this week, the Securities and Exchange Commission, in partnership with the Africa Development Bank, put together a capacity building workshop for capital market operators on green finance. Let's get a sense of prospects for green finance in Nigeria. To discuss this, we have Dr. Mo Omamegbe is the Director of Strategy, Securities and Exchange Commission. Join us from our Abuja studio. Great to have you on the show. Good afternoon. Good to have you, sir. So, first off, talk to us about green finance. And, we know you had that training earlier this week. Talk to me about the turnout. Was it impressive?
Yeah, thanks very much for that question. Yes, the SEC, in collaboration with the African Development Bank, hosted a workshop on green finance for capital market stakeholders. Essentially, the workshop was really to go ahead and enhance the knowledge and understanding of green finance by capital market stakeholders. We're talking about investors, we're talking about issuers, also regulators, government agencies, and market intermediaries to really enhance what they know about green finance and this very important and emerging asset class. It was a very successful event. We had a very huge turnout, both at the physical location in Lagos and also a ton of people logged on online as well, virtually.
Definitely, I'm sure a lot was said, about green finance. But, some people, when they hear green finance, they're thinking it's some kind of green money, at this time. Help us break it down and the importance of green finance for a country like Nigeria that's still heavily reliant on fossil fuels.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I want to take us back a little bit. I think it's to December of 2015, where Nigeria was a signatory to the Paris Agreement. We are aware about the dangers and continuing dangers we face from climate change and greenhouse emissions. So the focus has really been, we've seen over the world, and also we've seen a gradual pickup in Nigeria as well on sustainable development. And for sustainable development to happen, you have to go green. So green and sustainable finance, it's a critical component of sustainable development. And sustainable growth essentially is really trying to grow our economy without hurting the environment. So the term green is really to signify every effort in that direction to ensure that investments and the activity of humans on this planet really do not hurt the planet. So as we go about our daily activities to fend for ourselves, to grow the economy, we want to make sure that we do that in a sustainable way. So green finance and sustainable finance, for those of us in the financial sector, is a way to try to address that, to add our own quota to ensure that we are not only developing and growing our economy in a sustainable manner, we are contributing to a healthy world, a healthy climate, and doing that in a very responsible way as well.
All right, so talk to me about why the Securities and Exchange Commission is getting heavy on green finance, and why now?
Thank you very much again for that question. The SEC has a twin mandate. The first mandate is to regulate the market. The second mandate is to develop that market, the capital market. And part of developing the capital market really entails working with stakeholders in the market to look at innovative ways to grow this market. And we also are championing the goal of trying to make Nigeria the destination, if you will, for green. and there's no better time than now. There is tremendous opportunity in this space, really, to raise finance and to raise capital, not only for green projects, but also for infrastructure, where we have significant deficit in our country and also in the continent. So African Development Bank, as part of their high fives, aligned with us in this area to look for innovative ways to not only deepen our markets by coming up with innovative and products like green bonds, but also to work together to make sure the uptake in this part of the world in this emerging asset class is really, really huge. So working with AfDB, the finance this workshop, we wanted to take advantage of that finance that was made available for us to continue to grow this space. You would recall that Nigeria played a key part in the signing of the Paris Agreement, and we were a pioneer green finance issuer in Africa. So the first sovereign green bond in Africa was issued by Nigeria. And we've seen a couple of sovereign green issues since then. The expectation was that it was going to be it was going to trigger a lot of issues in the corporate space. We've not seen that traction. So we believe that we needed to bring together all the critical stakeholders in this particular space to not only enhance their knowledge on what green is about and how it can benefit our economy and also benefit the planet, but also to collaborate and look at areas we can work better together so that the uptake in the corporate space it's high.
Right, and definitely, you know, for companies to be able to play in this green finance market, you need to be good when it comes to ESG compliance. So I'm wondering, will the SEC also have to monitor some of these companies, you know, that are going to be hitting the green finance markets, you know, at this time? It's going to put more job on the table of the Securities and Exchange Commission, or more work?
That's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, the SEC a few years back rolled out the sustainable guidelines, the sustainable finance guidelines for the capital market. The idea was that working under the umbrella of the FSRCC, we wanted to kind of like put the word out there and begin to have entities in the capital market carry out the activities in a manner that followed ESG standards and ESG regulations. So we have sustainable finance guidelines that have been rolled out. We also are monitoring our capital market operators and public companies as well to make sure that they follow these guidelines and we begin to really grow this space the way it should happen.
And I'm also wondering, you know, the impacts for the capital market generally. Are we going to see listed companies also have to play, you know, when it comes to ESG? You know, at this point, they have to take that seriously. Would they have to take that more seriously at this time, you know, looking at the whole capital market in Nigeria?
I think that's a key question. Yeah, we actually expect that to happen. I think the monitoring from our perspective, it's gonna continue to grow. We're really beaming our spotlight on this area. We know that a lot of capital market operators and public companies are really beginning to embrace green and ESG principles in both their internal activities and for investors and those that actually put together portfolios. They're taking ESG consideration in building those portfolios. So this is the first of many collaborations that's going to happen between the SEC and capital market stakeholders. And we believe that as more and more stakeholders become aware of the importance of this asset class to not just only the activities but also to the global market and to our local environment as well. That potential will be enhanced, and we will tap it, and hopefully we'll grow this sector the way we should.
Right. Now, and we know the average investor, just wants to see that asset class actually, that they're investing in, actually do well. So what's in it for investors, when we're looking at green finance at this time?
Yeah, for investors, I think the capacity building event was really targeted at them as a primary beneficiary. The goal is to begin to address those people that actually, or those investors that are green at heart, if you will, and those that actually do not really understand, to see the need for this investment class, to not only be an opportunity for them to have a different investment vehicle to diversify their holdings, but also for them to contribute to a clean environment and a better planet for everyone.
Right. I guess investors need a better planet so that you can actually enjoy the proceeds of your profits at this time. But thank you so much. It was great having you, Dr. Mo Omamegbe is the Director, Strategy, Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us.
Thanks, Laddie, for having me. Glad to be here.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a break now. Talking about the markets, we'll get a sense of what's happening with the local bourse intraday and most of the global markets that we track. That's in a moment. Do stay with us.